Hi, I'm Terry Wagner. This is my final reflections on my EDM310 class at the University of South Alabama, and I'm coming to you from my gazebo in my home. When I decided to go back to school to renew my teaching certificate, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. When I signed up for EDM310, I knew very little about it, and after the first week of class, had almost come to the conclusion that the best thing for me was to drop the class. Unfortunately, when I went back to look at the schedule, there wasn't really anything else I could take, so I decided to take the plunge and take the challenge that Dr. Strange was going to give me. And the first thing that I realized was that I was at a terrible disadvantage because I did not know the technology that was involved. What I didn't know was how much fun it was going to be learning all the technology that was going to be involved. The first project that we did was setting up our blogs, and it was very frustrating and very disconcerting. I was used to the burnt back method where they told me what to do, I did it, and then I showed them that I could do it, and then that was the end of it. But that's not the way Dr. Strange runs his class. It reminded me a lot of my experience as a writer. I wrote for many years, and the best advice that you can give any writer is that you need to show people, not tell people. And to me, that sums up the philosophy of this class, was show me, don't tell me. So the first thing that I did on my own was I followed the instructions, given the parameters we were given, and I made my first wordle. And then I put it on my blog. And then something wonderful happened. I got excited. This was interesting. This was fun. This was a challenge, and I met it. And so I kind of started having different feelings towards the class. And then I went along and we had the book trailer night with Anthony Capps, and I had two wonderful young partners, and they knew all the technology and they had all the right equipment, and we did the book trailer and it turned out really well. And the problem was I had two young people who knew all the technology and they knew how to do it, and I felt like I didn't really learn anything, and I didn't like that. And I didn't feel like that was the point of this class. The point of this class was I needed to learn so that I could incorporate these things into my future classroom. So when we went along and we got the reading a book assignment, I stayed home, hooked up my webcam, first time I'd ever used it, put my niece on my lap, and started to read her a story. It was fun until we got to the part where we had to try to download it into the Windows iMovie version and work it, and it was kind of frustrating, and there was a lot of head banging against the keyboard, but eventually we got it to work and we uploaded it on YouTube and I embedded it in my blog, and I felt another great aha moment, another wonderful feeling of a challenge well met. And even though, again, my results may have not seemed as well as they could have, I really learned so much, and I enjoyed what I had done, and I began to see how this could be incorporated into a classroom. I've had the privilege of subbing along with going to school, and I know that these kids have their cell phones and their Facebooks and their iPads, and they don't leave those things home, and they don't leave them in their pockets, and they don't drop them at the door so they can just listen to some teacher. This is not how 21st century students work, and it's not the way you're going to be able to teach them. Certainly not teach them meaningful and effective things. So we moved a little bit further into the semester, and we got to the time toast, which was actually kind of easy and fun, and I scanned all these pictures in of my dogs, and I had fun making up that timeline. And then when we came to the second timeline, time toast or Prezi, I decided I was going to challenge myself and do the Prezi. Well, first I had to learn the technology, so I had to learn all about Prezi, and I followed up all the information I could find on Google. And then I went to the program and I did a little Prezi about the space shuttle. And again, I felt like I put A, effort into B, results, but I learned a lot and I really enjoyed it. Not only that, but I could see where this would be very effective in teaching history and social studies. So once again, I had the opportunity to not only learn the technology, not only do something I was proud of, but figure out how it would work in my classroom. And then we went along a little further, and I was learning to do things with the blog that excited me, like embedding videos and garnering more information than was just asked for, and kind of being able to chase rabbits all over Google. And it occurred to me that my students today in a history class are not going to be content like I was to flip through dusty old books and dusty old journals, but they'll search for hours on Google.com. So I began to see a way to take my lesson plan and sort of do like Dr. Strange did us. Set up some perimeters. Go find out about the War of the Roses. Tell me what you've learned. Tell me in PowerPoint. Tell me in Prezi. Put it together any way you want to. Put together a movie. Do it any way you want to. But you come tell me what you've learned about the War of the Roses. And that's the way that I would like to teach as well. Going along with this class, there were many, many moments of frustration and times when I didn't think I was going to be able to do what was asked of me, and when I just really felt overwhelmed and kind of wanted to shut down. But every time, the thing that really impressed me and that I liked the most was I was challenging myself. I wanted to do better. After the Prezi, after the book trailer, after the reading a book movie, after the blog embeds and photographs and videos, I found myself wanting to do more and more and better and better. When we got to the smart board, I enjoyed the first time when we had to explain what we learned about a smart board. But then when we did the second one, I wanted to do something really impressive. And that's what I like about this class, and that's what I want to incorporate in my class, is not challenge against other people, but challenging yourself so that you do better each time. And you go out there and you find out what's available and what you can do.